Welcome to The Terrible Take, a daily segment telling Steelers Nation what's on our mind.
Hi, I'm Melanie Friedlander, and welcome to my Terrible Take, coming at you every Sunday, courtesy of Steelers Depot. With a bye week on our hands and no Steelers game today, we have some extra time to look at the upcoming division matchup against the Cleveland Browns next week. The Steelers own a 3-3 record and one division loss to the Cincinnati Bengals, and a Pittsburgh win would go a long way toward improving their playoff hopes and continuing the momentum of the past two games. The big question on the injury front is Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield, who sustained a left shoulder dislocation in Week 2 and aggravated it in Week 6. According to Jay Glazer, Mayfield also has a fracture in his left humerus, which was found on MRI, in addition to a full labral tear. After missing Cleveland's Thursday night football game against the Broncos due to shoulder inflammation, Baker has been very vocal about trying to make his return next Sunday against the Steelers. Standing in for Mayfield last Thursday, backup quarterback Case Keenum did enough to help the Browns win, going 21 of 33 for 199 yards and a touchdown, behind a stout rushing attack by running back to Ernest Johnson, who logged 146 yards on 22 carries, including a touchdown. So can Mayfield really play next week? First, he'll have to wear a shoulder harness, as he has been, to prevent yet another dislocation. This will limit his mobility, particularly with regard to scrambling and extending plays, as he faces a very effective Steelers pass rush by outside linebackers T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith, and Melvin Ingram, not to mention defensive lineman Cam Hayward, who is putting together a beast of a season. When asked earlier in the month if the harness impacted his accuracy on passing plays, Mayfield answered with a vague, "It shouldn't." To his credit, he has never been one to make excuses for poor play, but his lack of denial was significant. I have to assume that Baker won't be seen running the ball much either if his wide receivers are all covered downfield. On top of that, Baker will most certainly be in pain throughout the game and more likely to throw the ball away than risk taking a sack, which could pop his shoulder out again and end his day early. So how have other NFL quarterbacks fared in this situation? Let's take a look. In the Chicago Bears' 2019 Week 4 game against the Vikings, quarterback Mitch Trubisky suffered a left shoulder dislocation while taking a sack early in the first quarter. He was out for the rest of the game. Adam Schefter reported the injury to be a slight left labral tear in addition to the dislocation, so obviously not as severe as Mayfield's. Trubisky missed the following week and was able to take advantage of the subsequent bye week, returning 3 weeks later. He played the rest of the season, but it wasn't that pretty, with 17 TDs and 10 interceptions for the year. He underwent surgery once the season ended to repair his torn labrum. Back in 2013, Minnesota quarterback Christian Ponder suffered a left shoulder dislocation after getting hit while stretching out in an attempt to get into the end zone. Ponder's injury was described by Ian Rappaport at the time as minor. He was injured on a Thursday night game and didn't miss any time, returning 10 days later for their loss to the Seahawks, completing only 13 passes on 22 attempts for 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. He made it through the season and then had shoulder surgery to repair his torn labrum. Baker Mayfield still has a week to get ready to play, and I am sure he's doing everything possible to make that happen. While there is no question that Baker will eventually undergo surgery, it's clear that he's hoping to play through it until the offseason. The more successful snaps his backup quarterback logs, the harder it will be to get his job back, so he's obviously motivated. We should have a better idea by next Thursday based on who is taking first-team reps with the Browns practice. Regardless of which quarterback is under center for the Browns, here's hoping the Steelers' defense gives him a very tough day. Thanks for listening to my take. Please follow me on Twitter, @GirlSurgeon.
Be sure to follow us at SteelersDepot.com and check out episodes of The Terrible Take every day at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And check out The Terrible Podcast with myself and Alex Skazora every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.